G'day, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I've got the RD on the operating table again. It's time for a change. So, remember that CBR 600 from the last episode that we got it running and everything else? Well, that is a donor bike. So I want to graft the front end into this and hopefully the back end into this thing. Turn it into a bit of a hybrid. The front forks on this are pretty well buggered anyway. They need re-chroming. One of them is slightly bent. You know, we've got the solid disc brakes and things like that, so well, upgraded a little bit, as you know. Got the 17-inch, front wheel that we could put in it with twin disc rotors, so good brakes, good forks, and hopefully be able to graft the back end into it to put the wider rear wheel in there, which would be good as well. So there's a few things that I'm going to do. The foot pegs and everything off that CBR, I reckon I can graft them onto this setup, get rid of all this setup here, because the rear brake and everything's all incorporated into the foot peg, the master cylinder and stuff like that. So I reckon that will work quite well. And on the other side, I have been having trouble with my gear lever on this side here, with it not selecting gears properly, and it's just junk. So I think the CBR one should fit on there okay. We'll have to modify and make fit and all the rest of it, like you have to do with everything. But they've made it quite easy now. All Balls do a fantastic kit for the front end. You can basically get on their website and there's a front end conversion for that. So you just put in what bike you have, which you put in 1976 RD400, and it brings up every make and model bike that you can put a front end into this thing. They'll do a cup and cone tapered roller bearing set to suit this front end to whatever triple clamp that you're going to slide into it, whether it be anything, R6, R1, Kawasaki, whatever. We're using Honda, so there's these kits that you can get now which just make it so easy. So I think we'll start by going to strip it. We'll pull everything off: tank, seat, exhaust pipe's got to come off it. I'll put a jack or something under there so to support that, because we've got to get the front end out. We'll take all this off and we'll slide the bottom triple clamp in with the bearing and everything on it and see how it's all going to fit. I've done a little bit of rough measuring and, well, it's nearly the same length. It's the center tube of the triple clamp there is just about the same length. It's unreal. So I don't know whether I've just fluked it by picking that bike. I'm not sure, but hopefully it all fits in there. If not, I think we're just going to make it fit. So we'll see how we go. So I think let's start by stripping this down. I'll show you the pile of goodies. Here's some of the goodies. Front wheel, rear wheel, forks, swing arm, which I hopefully want to graft into the back of that thing there. So look at the CBR, she's looking a little bit sad now. Anyway, that's going to go to a different home and be repurposed for something else. So I've got all that, and I've got all the calipers and things up on the bench there. As you can see, he's pretty grotty. It's got leaves and spider webs and things, but we've got some pretty funky disc rotors that have been fitted to this thing. Absolutely brand new tyres, front and rear. So there's a cost saving there. I think they'll clean up quite well. So I'll give them all a really good clean up. We'll give them a scrub, pressure wash. I'll take the discs off. You can see somebody's fitted this stripe on here, and it looks like the wheel's buckled because of the way they fitted this strip. It's all wonky. So peel that off, give the rims a good degrease, clean up, and yeah, we'll go from there. So we'll do that, and we'll start by pulling the front end out of that thing. Let's get into it. Alright, we're down to the nitty gritty of it now. Apologise for the noise in the background. It's currently raining at the moment. Winter over here in Australia. Let's get this out. Now, the bearing kit that I've ordered, I've got the bottom bearing, the top one's gone on back order. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a dodgy, I just want to sit it all in there and just make sure it's going to fit. So I'll just measure the inside diameter of that. This is my little sheet here. That's what I need to be, 26 inside. 25. That's gotta suck, doesn't it? Anyway, this is what I got going on. This is the original one. This is the CBR one, and it's height wise, it's a little bit taller, but you know, we're going to be a little bit wide, not too much, a bit wider. This is the bottom bearing kit. And it's got some washers and things under some spaces, and I think it tried to space this up to make it shorter at the top. But I think I'll put it in and just see where we're at with it. 2 spaces. Anyway, we'll fit her up, see what we're looking at. Just slot this in here. That. Don't know about the stopper. May have to modify that, of course, like everything. I've got the original race out of the CBR. It's 1 mil smaller diameter on the outside, but this is just for fitting purposes, so we'll just, it's going to sit in there right. Just leave it like that. I don't think I'll have to change the bottom race. I reckon I can leave that in there. Yep. Because it's already got an all balls kit in there. Right, I'm going to pull the arse end out of this thing because the curiosity is just killing me. I want to know how difficult it's going to be to fit this in there. So let's get this thing apart and see where I stand with this one. This one's going to be a little bit harder, but I just want to know the diameter there, or the width. See how we can fit it in, if we can fit it in. Righto, let's get this back wheel out. Oh, God, these wheels just weigh a ton compared to what's going to be going in it. Okay. Ah, huh. Well, there goes the power. Oh, back on again. Oh. Yeah, considerably. Holy crap. Right. Well, we are considerably wider than the original swing arm. It's probably about the same both sides. So we're going to have some engineering to do. Yeah. But and look at this one. It's got plenty of width there, so I mean, you can always, I haven't seen what's inside with the bearing there, but I'm sure we could probably shift the bearing along a little bit, or we cut it in the middle We take out what we need to take out, and we need to bring that in somehow, but sure we can make something work. Alright, we'll keep staring at it and thinking about it. See how we go. Okay, here's where I'm at. I've stared at this for quite some time. This is the RD swing arm. Now it's 198 mil. This one's 232. So we've got a little bit of width difference there. So I think this is what I'm thinking of doing. This has got to come off here anyway, so I think I'll get reciprocating saw or jigsaw or something like that. We'll cut this off, then I think we'll cut it in half, and we'll take off whatever we need to take off there to bring it up to the same width as the RD swing arm. And then, well, this has all got to come off anyway, so if we get this out of the way, I might be able to cut this off. Then I'm thinking I might slice it through the middle, because this will be a smaller width, so we're going to have to, you know, bring these ends in. So this will have to come in. Still want to keep the width at the back for the rear wheel to fit in there. We'll cut this in half, and then I think that's the way I'm going to have to go. I'm going to need to cut a little section out of this, squeeze it back together again, re-weld it, weld this front section back on once this is welded back together, and try and get it all true and square. So anyway, this has got to come off anyway. I've got to cut this off. This has to be shortened. There's no two ways about it. This has got to come off and be shortened. So I think I'll do that first, and then I'll think about and stare at that some more. Rightio, so I'm going to cut this off, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Righto, cut it, welded it, joined it back together, same width as the old swing arm, fits in the frame perfectly. Now I've done that. Oh well, we'll just keep going. Alright, I got some updates. Got the swing arm and everything's in there, and so I took these off that CBR as well. I'm thinking maybe I can get those foot pegs to work on there, because I've got the brake master cylinder and everything in on it. And then this side, you know, maybe I can adapt the gear lever setup, because it's part of all the foot peg and everything's set up. Obviously we're going to need a shorter rod in there to get this the right angle there, but this might eliminate my gear shift issue. So I've had to cut out the swing arm. I haven't welded anything yet. It's all just sort of sitting there. I may have to clearance it a little bit more around the frame there, but then I'll box this and I'll run another plate inside, give it a bit more strength, and weld it all up on that pin and everything there as well. Still going to run the twin shocks, because this is the steel swing arm. I can just weld to it, so you know, I can weld some brackets to the swing arm. Right, so this one here, it's coming pretty close to this brake mount here, but I don't know, we'll make something up there, we'll address that. But yeah, no, I reckon it's, I don't know, it's going to be pretty good. Look at that fat ass. It's awesome. Now what I was thinking with these clip-ons, why can't I, see I've got these mounts, just one single bolt for the tapered bars that I had on it before, a lot more comfortable, and these little things. So I reckon I'm just going to drill a hole in that. There's plenty of room on the underside to put the nut. I reckon I'll drill those in there, piss these off, and just run the normal bars on it. I reckon that's the go. So I think that's what I will do. But yeah, it's just got some welding and some plating and stuff to do, and a little bit more relieving, but we'll get into it and hopefully tack it in its place where it's supposed to be, and we'll go from there. All right, I got some updates for you. We've been chipping away at this bike here, doing this conversion, but I'll get you in a bit closer and you can have a bit of a look. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's free, and then you can catch all these episodes on this thing and many more to come. Anyway, I'll get you in closer, we'll have a bit of a look. Now I'll show you what I've done here so far. We've boxed up the swing arm, strengthened it all, put another strengthening in there, welded it all in. That's nice and strong, that ain't coming apart. Put on some rear shock mounts here, they're just tacked in because I just want to see how all this is going to operate. Put a new rear tyre on. Now gone for a 150 instead of that 160 because we've got the chain alignment we have to worry about here. So I've done a few measurements and stuff, and I reckon it's going to work out all right. I've got a 520 pitch sprocket because I already had a 520 pitch front sprocket. So now I can convert it to 520 chain rather than 530, which I think is, 530 is a bit of an overkill for these things. So that's good. And with the 150, we're basically level with the rim. So as far as we can go over, I've taken the cush drive away, and I'm getting 10mm machined off it so I can bring that sprocket in closer. So we'll do that. What else? It's looking pretty good. I think the stance is pretty right. This is all just sort of sitting on there, but that's looking not too bad. The front discs are up on the bench there and stuff. I've just sort of mocked it all together, and then I'll pull it all apart and we'll rebuild the forks, repaint them, paint the swing arm, put some new pinstriping on the rims. Hopefully maybe I can even get these mounted up in here. I think they'll look pretty trick. Now I did think about putting my bars back on here, but the forks actually protrude through the triple clamps too far. I'd have to get really high rise ones, and then the handlebars are just going to be way too high. Will look like a chopper going down the road, so that ain't going to work. So I just thought I'll just mock this up like this and put all my handle, clutch and brake and all that sort of stuff on there, and just see how it feels. And it doesn't feel too bad. I did say that, it sort of felt like it was a little bit close together, but it's not too bad. I might just see how we go with that. So anyway, headlight, I've just bolted all that on just to see how we go. Now we still have to do foot pegs and mount the rear brake caliper and paint and rebuild and whatever, a few things. So I'm going to leave this episode here, and we'll do a little bit more once I've got everything all painted up. Anyway, we'll leave it there, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification button, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.